It is now my pleasure to give the floor to Ms. Marcia Cran, Director of the Research and Right to Development Division, who will be delivering a statement on behalf of the High Commissioner for Human Rights.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, it's an honor for me to open the second session of the Forum on Minority Issues. And at the outset, I would like to extend congratulations to Ms. Barbara Lee on her appointment as the chairperson of the second session of the Forum. Your task is challenging and extremely important. This forum provides a unique venue for promoting dialogue and cooperation with a view to supporting the implementation of minority rights, in line with the 1992 UN Declaration on the Rights of Persons Belonging to National or Ethnic, Religious, and Linguistic Minorities. It also makes an important contribution to the work of the independent expert on minority issues, Ms. Gay McDougall, who guides the work of the Forum. I would also like to congratulate the independent expert on her proposal to focus the work of this second session on minorities and effective political participation. The theme is of crucial importance to minorities. Effective participation is not only an important human rights principle in itself, but also a sine qua non for the implementation of other human rights. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to see so many interested actors gathered here today. Through your participation, you are all assisting the Forum to provide effective policies and strategies aimed at securing more effective political participation by persons belonging to minorities. The Forum will benefit from the substantive expertise of the very distinguished experts who will be addressing various aspects of the theme under discussion. The work of the Forum and the independent expert is guided by the Declaration on the Rights of Persons Belonging to National or Ethnic, Religious, and Linguistic Minorities. The Declaration constitutes a key document of reference for the protection of minorities. It reaffirms the rights of persons belonging to minorities to enjoy all human rights and fundamental freedoms in accordance with the principles of non-discrimination and equality before the law. Therefore, it contains central guarantees to ensure that cultures, languages, and other elements of the identity of persons belonging to minorities are protected and promoted, including through the implementation of the right to effective participation. The exclusion of minorities from effective participation in decision-making is often rooted in violations of the principles of equality and non-discrimination. These principles are a cornerstone of the United Nations. They are embedded in the 9 core international human rights instruments. In fact, the entire human rights structure of the United Nations rests upon the principles of equality and non-discrimination. These principles are critical to the implementation of all human rights. The importance of combating discrimination is fully recognized by the High Commissioner for Human Rights. It is one of the thematic priorities of our office, including for the coming years of 2010 and 2011. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, virtually all countries of the world have minorities. Some of them are numerically small, but it is estimated that 2/3 of all countries have very sizable minorities and include at least one substantial minority, ethnic or religious group that makes up at least 10% of the population. Such diversity is often rightly viewed as a strength, and there are many examples of harmonious and prosperous coexistence of different communities. There are some significant examples of minority representatives gaining a true voice in decision-making. We have a number of examples of that in this room today. However, all too often, diversity is wrongly viewed as a risk to the communal cohesion of a state. Sadly, in many countries, failure to value and respect diversity has led to the erosion of the rights of persons belonging to minorities, often involving their exclusion from effective participation. Such exclusion negates the realization of all human rights and can lead to tensions and conflicts. Indeed, ensuring effective minority participation is not only a human rights imperative, it is also a way to prevent conflict. And through active participation, the person can endure a stable society and gain confidence and trust in its institutions. We have achieved valuable standard-setting institutional progress in minority protection at the United Nations and other fora, as the adoption of declaration and creation of an independent expert and that of forum. All these have created great expectations. Findings of independent experts, expert human rights treaty bodies, and reports from minority NGOs demonstrate that there is no room for complacency. Much work lies ahead to move the minorities from paper to practice to create the condition effective participation of minorities. Members bear the prime responsibility to ensure effective participation. This may require special positive measures aimed at accelerating participation in various areas of life, including in political processes. But success area requires input and commitment from all actors. This session of the forum offers a unique opportunity for all stakeholders, including member states, representatives of civil society, the United Nations, and other international and regional organizations to share experiences and to promote good practices. Such dialogue is essential as there are no easy answers or one-size-fits-all solutions in this area. The right to effective political participation can include specific mechanisms in governmental bodies and in decentralized and local forms of government. It can in some cases be achieved through cultural or territorial autonomy arrangements. While there are many legitimate options, we must ensure that the approach chosen results in effective minority participation. By bringing together different actors from within and outside the United Nations system, the forum will be able to provide valuable guidance not only to the work of the independent expert on minority issues, but also for actors at the international, regional, and national levels. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to reaffirm once more our office's continuous commitment to minority rights. The substantive input we provide to the work of the Forum on Minority Issues is intended, among other things, to support enhanced minority engagement with relevant United Nations bodies. In addition to supporting the important work of this forum, we are committed to stepping up our awareness raising and capacity development activities on the implementation of the Declaration with the view to advance a better understanding of its contents and provide a critical overview as to its current use in various contexts. Your discussions over the next 2 days will contribute to consolidate our common efforts toward the protection of minorities all over the world. On behalf of the High Commissioner for Human Rights and her office, I would like to wish you a very fruitful meeting and to assure you of our continued support and partnership.